Hi everyone, my name is Lizelle Cabañas and I'm here to tell you a story about the Little Red Riding Hood. So let's begin. Once upon a time, there is a little girl who lived in a village near a big forest. She had a grandmother who made her a beautiful red cloak with a big red hood, which she always wore it every time she went outside. And you know what the village called her? The villagers called her Little Red Riding Hood. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother asked her to give her grandma a basket of food. She said, "Grandma is not feeling well. Will you take this basket of food for her?" Mother said. Little Red Riding Hood answered, "Yes, Mother, I'll take that to Grandma," with an excitement in her eyes. She put on her red cloak and pulled her big red hood. Then she took a basket of food into the forest. But before she left, her mom asked her once again, "Remember not to talk to strangers," Mother said. "I won't, Mother," said Little Red Riding Hood as she promised before she left. And through the forest to the path, she skipped and hopped along the way. Little Red Riding Hood did not have to worry about getting lost in the forest because she knew the way to Grandma's house very well. And suddenly, she saw a beautiful flower growing near the path. She stopped and she bent and picked beautiful flowers. She said, "Oh, Grandma will love these," she said with an excitement in her tone. And someone is around her. "Hello there, little girl," said with a deep growling voice from behind. Little Red Riding Hood was very shook and startled. When she turned around, she saw a really big bad wolf standing in the shadow between those trees. "Hello, Mr. Wolf," said Little Red Riding Hood while smiling. She doesn't know that the wolf was bad. Oh no. And you know what? She forgotten what her mother told her before she left. She forgot not to talk to strangers. Oh no. The bad wolf starts asking her, "Where are you going on this fine day, Little Red Riding Hood?" asked Mr. Big Bad Wolf. "I'm going to Grandma's house in the forest," she replied. "She is not really feeling well and bringing her a basket of foods and flowers might help," she added. "What a sweet little girl you are," Mr. Big Bad Wolf said as he smiled above his ears and showed off his mouthful of sharp teeth. The big bad wolf is quite hungry, but it wasn't his interest in that basket of foods. "Mr. Wolf, I'd be better going," said Little Red Riding Hood. "Goodbye, Mr. Wolf." She then hurried inside the forest. And you know what happened to Mr. Wolf? Mr. Big Bad Wolf quickly ran as possible through the forest all the way to Grandma's house. The sneaky Mr. Wolf silently opened the door and gently turned the knob and found Grandma asleep in her bed. He rushed and picked the old woman, gulped in her in one go, and the poor Grandma is now on Mr. Big Bad Wolf's tummy. He kept saying, "Yum, yum, yum." Mr. Big Bad Wolf suddenly climbed into Grandma's bed hurriedly and pretended to be Little Red Riding Hood Grandma. As he pulled the blanket up to his chin and put the old woman's glass and the nightcaps while waiting for the little girl to arrive. And suddenly, Little Red Riding Hood arrived. As she opened the door, she found her grandma lying in bed in the dark. "Hello, Grandma. I have bring you some basket of foods and pick beautiful flowers on the way," she said. "What a sweet little girl you are," said Mr. Big Bad Wolf as she pretends to be his grandma's voice. "Come closer, my dear," said Mr. Wolf. Little Red Riding Hood took a step as she noticed something. "Oh my, what a big eyes you have, Grandma," she said innocently. "All the better to see you with," Mr. Big Bad Wolf answered. As she stand a little closer to Mr. Wolf, asked her again, "Come closer, a little more, my dear." And then Little Red Riding Hood took another step again. "Oh my, what a big ears you have, Grandma," she said. And Mr. Wolf replied again, "All the better to hear you with." And Mr. Wolf asked her again, "My little girl, come here so I can see you closer enough." And of course, Little Red Riding Hood one last time took one more step, but this time next to Grandma's bed. She bluntly said in surprise, "Oh my, what a big teeth you have, Grandma." "All the better to eat you with," as Mr. Big Bad Wolf growled and jumped out over the bed as he opened his big mouth full of sharp teeth. Little Red Riding Hood was shocked and tried her best to run, but Big Bad Wolf grabbed her and swallowed her in one gulp. Outside the house, a woodsman happened to be walking nearby in the forest. As he heard the scream inside the house, he then hurried inside to see the Big Bad Wolf sitting near the edge of the bed with his huge round belly. Now, the woodsman grabbed Big Bad Wolf's foot, turned him upside down, and shook him many times by his feet. The Little Red Riding Hood and her grandma came tumbling out of Big Bad Wolf's mouth. The three of them chased Mr. Big Bad Wolf in a hurry out of the forest and through the hill. They were running and running and running, and the Big Bad Wolf ran for his life and was never seen again. This time, Little Red Riding Hood learned her lesson to never ever talk to strangers again. And that's all our story.